I have a guest commentator for the rest of the program who will be giving his thoughts on the news and issues that we have discussed so far. He is Arise News analyst, Mahmud Jega, and he joins me on the show from our Abuja studios. Good evening. Thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Great. Let me ask you about the obedient movement. Let me start with that. What do you make of it? It seems to be taking a structural outlook now. They're trying to organize themselves as regards, as against what they used to be or what was supposed to be.
Well, I was hearing about it early this evening, and I was just wondering, because at least since last year, the obedient movement has been an integral part of the Labour Party. Of course, as Tanko explained, you cannot contest election under current laws in Nigeria unless you belong to a political party. But there has been a lot of crisis in the Labour Party recently, including an attempt to change the National Executive Committee. And I can imagine that the obedient movement is a bit uncomfortable because there are some elements in the Labour Party, including the leaders of organized labor, who are not really obedient, and they feel that they are the ones that set up the party, that the obedience only flocked in last year. So possibly now, by organizing themselves as they said they will do, they probably are thinking of launching a political party of their own. And that might make for more internal peace instead of the conflicts that we are having now. And they also have enough time, because at least the next election is nearly 3 years away. So if they want to do their own political party alone, they should better do it. Although along the way still, they may have to enter into alliances, because on their own alone, it might be very difficult to actualize their dreams, as Tanko said, or even win the presidential election.
Indeed. Well, he didn't give a direct answer when I asked him if the plan was to eventually morph into a political party from the movement. But let's go back to the government of the day and the economic policies. The government is still pleading with Nigerians that this is necessary. It's a necessary evil that we must go through. But you had Felix Moka, the APC spokesperson, try his best to defend the administration. What do you make of the situation? I mean, it's a tough decision to defend hard times when Nigerians are really suffering and trying to make ends meet.
As you said, Mr. Morka tried very hard, but the most important question which I think you asked was like, when will the suffering end and citizens will begin to reap the fruits of the economic reform measures? I don't think he had a very concrete answer to that, and even the government itself, of course, is promising that there will be light at the end of the tunnel, but no one can precisely put his finger on when that will happen. But that is a very important question, because in a democratic situation, citizens cannot be patient forever, not only in Nigeria, but even in some countries. If election comes forth and the end to the suffering is not very clear, then usually the incumbents in office will have to pay an electoral price. It is good to be patient, but probably you don't expect citizens to be patient indefinitely.
And finally, do you think that the opposition has been unfair to this administration, as Felix Moka tried to point out? In particular, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP and Peter Obi of the Labour Party.
I think they are doing their job as opposition leaders. You don't expect opposition leaders to give the government a breathing space, because, of course, their objective is to replace it in government. So they have to tackle it every day. And my own personal impression so far is that they have not gone overboard in their opposition. You see, it will be a different thing probably if they engineer riots, but I don't think the leaders of LP or PDP were connected, let's say, to the end hunger protests that we had recently. So unless they go in that direction, probably inciting or organizing riots, then you might say they have gone overboard. But if it is issuing statements or holding press conferences and television appearances at every turn and criticizing the government and amplifying citizens' demands, I don't think they have gone overboard yet.
Thank you so much, Mahmud Jega. It's a fine place to live it. Thank you for your analysis of today's program. Well, that's it for this edition of Prime Time. Do join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Lagos as well as Abuja. Goodbye and thank you for watching.